day.
Good day, sir. Yo, the game of the day is Tack 2, The Staff of Dreams. And also, just to show you the extra nostalgia, we got GameStar in the corner is the store that it was from. Anyways, so I wanted to do a video to talk today about that modern gamers have it very easy, and I'm tired of hearing all of you complain. Growing up, I grew up during the Nintendo 64 era, and then we went over to the GameCube era. It was very difficult. We had a lot of different problems with buying games. You either had to rent games or you had to buy games. The Nintendo 64 was very spotty. Like, half the games were amazing. You had Ocarina of Time, and then you also had Micro Machines. We had to literally we had Game Crazy, and then slowly all the chains that weren't GameStop all slowly went out of business. And then they were replaced by GameStop. We went from the Nintendo 64 era, we start getting to the GameCube era. And it just became, like, people forget that Nintendo nowadays is releasing the games that people actually want. Where back in the day, they would release whatever the heck they wanted. So we were expecting, like people fantasized about, like, what if they made the ultimate Mario Kart? And instead they said, what if we just made Diddy Kong Racing? Which, I mean, Diddy Kong Racing was good, but they were just like, we're just gonna not do what you're asking for. People were like, we want F-Zero. We want a new F-Zero. And Nintendo was like, no. And I guess they still haven't done that. But all those games, they would just ignore. Like Smash Bros. We were like, just give us a Smash Bros. With, like, all the characters we want. Coming to the Switch era now, it's like Nintendo gives people all the things they wanted. We wanted another Kirby era. We didn't get that. We didn't get that going in the Wii. We didn't get that in the Wii U. And then they would finally give us things later on, but it was never what we asked for. We wanted another Star Fox. We got Star Fox Zero. What else did we want? Going into the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo finally started giving everyone what they wanted. They gave us Smash Ultimate, a new 3D Mario. They gave us, even now, they're giving, people were like, we want Smash Ultimate, but we want that for Mario Kart, where it's like the big, huge open world, and people are still complaining. And I just don't get it, because there's so many random things that we've been asking for 20 years, and they gave it to us. Even the newer Mario parties, they released a new Mario Party, and people were like, we want this, but give us all our old favorite games and maps. And Nintendo did that. And I didn't hear anyone be like, oh, thank you, Nintendo. And it's crazy, because I grew up watching the GameCube came out, and we were, like, requesting all these games. As we're getting into, like, newer consoles, we would be like, give us a new Animal Crossing, and they would just say, no, we're going to give you a board game. And then even if you don't want to do those, you can turn around and go to PC gaming. Like, if you're not getting what you want from Nintendo, you're not getting what you want from PlayStation or Xbox, you're not getting you're not getting the new Gears of War, you're not getting your new Halo. Okay, well, Halo, you got Splitgate. You got Splitgate 2. And Gears of War, there's, like, tons of new games like that every week. So it's like, you can go on Steam and you can find free ones, or you can find ones that you have to pay, but it's like, it's still fire. So I just don't get why people complain about that kind of stuff when it's like, go play a different game, I don't get. And also, people are constantly asking for, like, remakes and stuff, when it's literally like, you could play those old games if you literally just download an emulator. I know that's, like, frowned upon by Nintendo and stuff, but it's like, just get an emulator, and then you can play Ocarina of Time as many times as you want. You don't have to keep asking for it to be ported or remastered or whatever. I don't even know why you'd want it remastered, because most of the remasters we get don't even look as good, and they don't have any charm because they're not all pixelated. But yeah, I just think that in general, people complain so much about so many gaming things, when it's like, as someone who grew up in the 90s, bro, I remember having to go to Game Crazy and rent a game, and getting home and going, wow, this sucks. This game is bad. And then I still had to keep playing it because it was the game we rented that week. So it was just like when we could only rent one game a week, where now it's literally like I can go on Steam and just go to free to play, or I could go to itch and I can find fantastic games for free that are really dope. People freak out because there's like a new Silent Hill that comes out, and they're like, it's not exactly what I wanted. And it's like, okay, well, there's like 1,000 games on itch that are literally the exact same as Silent Hill 1. Like, it's the exact same vibe. I just think it's crazy to go around complaining about that. But anyways, I'm gonna do more videos like this. If you know me for my content on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, come on over here. The water's warm. It's not because I'm peeing. It's just we're chilling in a hot tub, you know. But yeah, I want to mix things up, talk about random stuff. Yeah, I just think too many people complain when it's literally like there's this abundance of games, bro. I remember I had to rent games from this little store. I grew up in Banks, Oregon, and I had to go to this little store they had where it was a movie rental place, and they had like a little corner that was video games. And this was the Nintendo 64 era, and they had at any given time like 3 games you could rent. It was Super Mario 64, and then they would cycle like other Nintendo 64 games, and so many were not good. And nowadays you can just go on Steam and find whatever. You can find a co-op game that you can play with your friends that's actually fire, and it's free, and it doesn't have ads or something in it. Yeah, anyways, I'm just kind of ranting, but that's it. Love y'all. Subscribe, follow, more content coming.